Hello. Happy Monday, everyone. So I wanted to hop on and tell you a little bit about what happened after I encouraged everyone to seek out conversation with people who believe differently than you. Because I truly believe that it is a huge corner point and foundation for us becoming a better society. Hello, someone. And so I was encouraging everyone to not run away from people who are not like-minded. And when I posted that video, I actually received some very aggressive messages from someone who did believe differently than me. And they were attacking my faith, actually. Not me as a person, but hi, oh, hello. Oh, Barb is like my second mom, you guys. So she's watching, she's wonderful. And so as they started trying to debate me on my faith, I realized that their arguments were based on clickbait and an article from the KKK, but not really an article, just a quote of one person who said that they were a Christian. And here is what I don't talk about this a lot, you guys, because I don't love debate. I actually kind of really hate it because I don't feel like it's listening. Hi, I know, right? Clickbait, really. Don't base your theological decisions on clickbait, my friends. I don't care what you believe, but don't do it on clickbait. I don't love debate because it's not always listening to understand. It's more like listening to respond and prove that someone else is wrong. And that's not, we won't understand each other or our history or our perspective if we're debating. So I don't encourage debate. Mad skills with Ellie. But in case anyone was wondering, I do love theological discussions. I just don't have them on social media because I don't find them productive. You know, comment threads can get out of hand. Things can be taken out of context. But if you want to have a theological discussion, or if you want to attack me with clickbait, side note, we'll get to the actual conversation that I had with this person in a minute, but I don't often share my credentials, so let me share my credentials. My undergrad university, I went to community college and got my prereqs in business and stuff, and then I went to a 4-year university with one of the, thank you, Barb, I love you too. I went to a university with one of the top theological programs in the nation. And I did not major in theology, I majored in music. But while I was there, I took, I don't know how many classes, but I took a good number of theological classes from professors who, studied the Bible and Bible history in Israel and are fluent in Hebrew. And I took classes from people who were fluent in Greek, and these are really experts in their fields. And so I had this wonderful opportunity to go through what I intellectually thought and believed with a fine-tooth comb. So I know why I believe what I believe, and I will talk to you all day about it, but not on social media. And then, right after I graduated from college, when I graduated from undergrad, I went through a period of 2 years probably of emotionally and spiritually questioning everything I believed because it just wasn't lining up with what I was seeing in my life, and I was hurting, and I was like, maybe this isn't true. And guess what? I realized again, it's still true. And the word that I studied and understood the historical context from and picked through and tried to get it. Hi, Susan. I realized in real life, in practicality, still true. God was still real, and my faith was still real. So even if you want to come at me from a perspective of I'm hurt, God could never allow this, I really do want to talk to you about that because I've been there and I'm on the other side of it. And hi, Erica. I just think it's really important to not approach someone with hatred. Let's actually talk. So the person who was DMing me clickbait articles and saying how, hi Melanie, saying how if you practice Christianity, then you must be racist and you must hate other people and think that you're better than them, which I do not at all. Like, I really support living out the journey of life in the best way that you can and seeking truth wholeheartedly. And you can't do that if you're racist or you force everyone to believe what you're thinking. So it's not me, guys. And people who know me know that I have opinions, but I don't expect you to agree with them. And I don't hate you for disagreeing with them. You know, we're all living our best lives. So I realized as we were talking that they weren't really angry at Christianity, and they weren't really angry at me. They were hurting, and the only way they knew how to express their hurt was to throw angry clickbait articles at me and call them, you know, viable resources and say how terrible everything was. But what I realized as we were talking is that they simply didn't understand how anyone out there could really love them or care for them if they had gone through some things that they went through. And they didn't tell me all of that, but I've known them since I was like 15, so I knew. And what I ended up telling them, because they weren't trying to have a conversation, they weren't trying to share a belief or discuss a philosophy or an idea, they were just, you know, being angry and hurt. Barb, I really think clickbait is a messenger of Satan. I don't care what religion you practice. I'm not here for it. That's so funny. So I told them, you know, and I tell this to everybody, honestly, because we're all going through stuff, but I've been there in a place of hurt, and I've been there in a place of not wanting to listen to reason and not wanting to have to think theologically about anything. Good night, Barb. Sleep well. But really, I just wanted to be heard. And so I told the person, you know, I'm praying that you find truth and you find peace. And I think that that's like the main thing that we need to understand when we are having conversations with people who have different political viewpoints or different spiritual viewpoints or different lifestyles. Ultimately, I hope that they have peace. I hope that they have joy. I hope that their pain finds healing. And that process may look a little bit different for everybody, but I know what the process has been for me. And that's why I do share my thoughts. That's why I do want to talk to other people, because I know that just as much as I have things that could help them, they have experiences and insight that could help me too. So I hope that as we continue to build this community of people who lovingly pursue truth together, that even when we disagree, we can listen, and that even when we are hurting, we can find hands that will heal. That's just, hi Alyssa. Oh, I'm almost done. I wish you'd hopped on sooner. I would have had you join me on camera. I hope that as we just continue this journey together, that we can learn how to put hatred aside, because I won't allow it on my feed. Like, I'll delete you. And I would love for you to be a part of the community, but I also would love for other people not to feel attacked. And I don't like being attacked, but I will deal with it. I'm totally confident in all of that. Hey, Jamie. But let's continue to pursue truth together. Let's continue to not debate and not argue. Hey, Liz. Nice to have you. Oh, guys, I'm finishing up. I'm wrapping up the video tonight. I wish you'd hopped on sooner. So you'll have to watch it back and let me know what you think and what your experiences were. But let's continue to be a supportive community, supportive to the people around us, even though Facebook can be toxic. If you see something that you want to talk to somebody about, don't attack them. Have a conversation with them. Engage them in trying to understand where they're coming from, because like I found out with this person who attacked me, really where they were coming from was a place of pain, and they were coming from a place of hurt. Hi, Pastor Brad. And when you see past the attack that people might try to like hit you with, when they say they want to talk and they really just want to spew anger and hurt, they're hurt. Like, that's the point. And so I believe that even though this person was basing their theology on clickbait, and they were basing their theology and their view of Christianity on the fact that someone in the KKK said they were a Christian, like, that's not valid. You can say whatever you want, but let's look at your actions. Even though this person had these very, unreliable facts, the fact of the matter was that they were hurt. And they were hurt by what they felt was God. So I was able to still have a productive moment with them where maybe they didn't hear much or they didn't learn anything and they didn't want to, but ultimately I was able to pray for them, and I told them I was praying for them, and I learned something. When people attack me, which I kind of already knew, but it's a good reminder. When you're attacked, it's not often about you. And we tend to take these things personally, especially like if we're sensitive. People in ministry are so deeply connected to other people. It's easy to take everything personally. And ultimately, it's not often about you. So my prayer for everyone, hi Melanie, I hope letting them talk did help. Honestly, I really do. Because I think that people tend to shut others down when they're expressing frustration and pain. But I pray for all of us this week that as we continue to engage people in conversation who may think differently than you and may feel and believe and live a lifestyle that's different than yours, that we can find a place of love for those people, and that we can find a place of openness for them where we can share the truth and the peace that we know with them, regardless of where they're coming from. So be strong this week, guys. It is Monday. We've got a full week ahead of us. I hope that everything you're doing is blessed. I hope that we can share love and truth with others, because that, as I always say, is your practical act of worship. Let's love others and love God this week, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Now for the awkward exit moment. Bye.